my favorite time. So, if you're gonna say it, then might as well.
I mean, you teed me up for it, so.
I mean, you know, that's what I do.
I gotta follow through.
I keep people up and I tee them off.
Welcome, family and friends and loved ones. We are gathered here today to celebrate the wedding of Mary and Michael. You have come here to share in this formal commitment they make to one another, to offer your love and support to this union, and to allow Mary and Michael to start their married life together, surrounded by the people dearest and most important to them. So welcome one and all who have taken the necessary steps to make sure we can safely gather together for celebrating this wedding. Mary and Michael, thank you for your presence here today, and now ask for your blessings, encouragement, and lifelong support for their decision to be married. Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, you come to witness the marriage between Mary and Michael. Do you give your blessings to them and promise them your continued love and support?
We give them our blessings and so promise.
Mr. and Mr. Seerveld, do you come to witness the marriage between Mary and Michael? Do you give your blessings to them and promise them your continued love and support?
We give them our blessings and so promise.
And you can all be seated. Marriage is perhaps the greatest and most challenging adventure of human relationships. No ceremony can create your marriage, only you can do that. Through love and patience, through dedication and perseverance, through talking and listening, helping and supporting and believing in each other, through tenderness and laughter, through learning to forgive, learning to appreciate the differences, and learning to make the important things matter and let go of the rest. What the ceremony can do is to witness and affirm the choice you make to stand together as life mates and partners. Will you, Michael, take this woman to be your wedded wife?
I will.
Do you, Mary, take this man to be your wedded husband?
I will.
Two people in love do not live in isolation. Their love is a source of strength with which they may nourish not only each other, but also the world around them. And in turn, we, their community of friends and family, have a responsibility to this couple. By our steadfast care, respect, and love, we can support their marriage and the new family they are creating today. And so I ask that you will all please rise. Will you, who are present here today, surround Mary and Michael in love, offering them the joys of your friendship and supporting them in their marriage? Please answer, we will.
We will.
And you can be seated. As we grow and mature, we rely on those raising us to model the types of relationships we hope to forge for ourselves. To honor the examples of love and fidelity given to them by their own parents, Mary and Michael have asked their parents to choose passages that reflect their vision of the relationship they wish for their children. Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, would you like to share a reading with Mary and Michael on this day of their marriage?
This is from Khalil Gibran. He was a Lebanese-American philosopher. Then Almitra spoke again and said, "And what of marriage, Master?" And he answered, saying, "You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. Aye, you shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together, and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow.
All I ever really needed to know, I learned in kindergarten by Robert Fulghum. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some, and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day. Some. Take a nap in the afternoon. When you go out into the world, watch out for traffic. Hold hands and stick together. Wonder. Remember the little seed in the styrofoam cup? The roots go down, the plant goes up, and nobody really knows how or why, but we're all like that. And it's still true. No matter how old you are, when you go out into the world, it's best to hold hands and stick together.
Mr. and Mrs. Seerveld, would you like to share a reading with Mary and Michael on this day of their marriage?
Yes, we would. This is from Romans chapter 12. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. Live in harmony with each other. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everyone. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Do not take revenge, my dear friends. On the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. Do not become overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
Why don't you guys come together a little bit more? This is a marriage.
Yeah.
All right. Would you like to hand that off to your mom?
Do vows, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do vows
Oh,
now.
we're doing vows.
Yes. We've come to the point of your ceremony where you're going to say your vows to one another. But before you do that, I ask you remember that love, which is rooted in devotion, trust, and acceptance, will be the foundation of an abiding and deepening relationship. No other ties are more tender. No other vows more sacred than those you now assume. If you are able to keep the vows you take here today, not because of any religious or civic law, but out of a desire to love and to be loved by another person fully, without limitation, then your life will have joy, and the home you establish will be a place where you both find direction of your growth, your freedom, and your responsibility. Michael, please share with Mary the vows you make to her this day.
One of your first lines before our first date has always stuck with me. I'm not too picky about restaurants, anything but bivalves. That line, combined with the pictures of your Captain America hat and finger guns in an opera dress, told me you were a keeper. On our first date, well after the shops had closed and with dinner a happy memory, we walked up and down Santa Cruz Avenue talking. I was in awe of your convictions, your philosophies, and your character. It was all I could do to keep up intellectually, as my higher brain functions kept yelling, "She is so smart and so pretty. Don't mess this up." I like to think that to this day I haven't, and I promise to keep that up as long as you'll have me. I think of our relationship up to this point in 3 eras: when we were seeing each other, when we were dating, and the time since we shared I love yous. I remember you being so skittish around the word boyfriend, like the title alone carried some unbearable weight, regardless of the context of our actions. I remember your mom rolling her eyes as you danced around the word when introducing me to your church family. I didn't care. I was holding your hand. My heart jumped when you called, and all I could think of after we parted was when I would get to see you again. You were and continue to be worth all the time that I have. I promise to be patient and to listen and to be a rock on which you can find a firm foundation. Since the night we first said I love you, I knew we were going to stand here one day. We complement each other in so many ways, building on each other's strengths and shoring up each other's weaknesses. When I feel unsure of myself, you're there to talk me up. And when I'm told to just drive north, you're there to point me which way north is. In return, I always promise to help you prioritize your ambitions and to lure you out of bed on your lazy mornings with a hot breakfast. And now, as we start the next chapter of our lives together, I am filled with excitement at what comes ahead. Like a slideshow in my mind's eye, I see us building our garden together, inviting our esteemed friends over for games, helping each other build success in our careers, raising our future child. We are together, side by side, braving our world we build together. I could not hope for a better partner in our journey. I promise you to have and to hold you from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until death do us part.
This you vow with all who know you as witnesses.
I do.
Mary, please share with Michael the vows you make to him this day.
I love you. The first time I said it, I knew it had been true for quite a while already, but I was afraid to admit to myself how fast we had fallen for each other. I did everything I could to slow that rush, not wanting to get swept away, not wanting to get ahead of myself. But you were patient, never pressuring me, willing to meet me where I was and move forward at whatever pace I chose. I'm so glad you stuck with me through those days, letting Mom joke you were my gentleman caller instead of my boyfriend. Your enthusiasm made me feel wanted, but your patience made me feel safe. It's from within that safety that I feel empowered to grow together with you, plan for a future with you, dream of who I could become with your support and encouragement. It was such an honor to be with you as you made the difficult transition from pursuing medical school to forging your own path through the job market. The way you approach challenges and setbacks fills me with pride and admiration. You make me want to be a braver, more resilient, more forward-looking person. I promise to stand with you through all your challenges and promise to share with you all of my own. As I promise to face adversity with you, so too do I promise to fill your life with joy. Whether robot fights and airplane flights, or something as simple as texting you puns that make you groan, I swear to keep surprising you and making you laugh for all the days of our lives. And while I reserve the right to poke fun at your foibles and fumbles, I vow to always respect you as the clever, competent, complex person that you are, my friend, my equal, and my partner. I knew from the moment I came home to see hooks already mounted next to the door so I'd stop losing my keys as soon as I put them on a flat surface, that you were ready to do whatever you could to help me manage my Swiss cheese brain and create an environment where I could be my best self. I'm so excited to build my life with you
I want to see the future with you at my side. I promise to work together with you to make our dreams reality. I'll handle navigation as long as you make sure we leave on time. I love you so, so much. I promise you to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part.
This you vow with all who know you as witnesses?
I do.
I can hold it. No, the other. You. Just give me this. There you go. Okay. Michael, take this ring and put it on the fourth finger of Mary's left hand and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol of my constant faithfulness
as a symbol of my constant faithfulness
and abiding love.
and abiding love.
Mary, take the ring and put it on the fourth finger of Michael's left hand and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol of my constant faithfulness
as a symbol of my constant faithfulness
and abiding love.
and abiding love.
You may take her hand, her arm, okay? By the power of your love and commitment and the power vested in me by the state, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. I introduce to you the new bride and groom.
Dan, I need counsel.
All right, it's gonna be as good as. Not fired. All right, awesome. Thank you.
Yours is like a nice accessory.
There's
There's
yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, Elliot! Get the two of you, all you three come over.
And all the keys now. They're all mine. I am the designated driver. I am the designated driver for everybody.
All right. So, hi, I'm Luke, father of the bride, if you didn't know. Jan, mother of the bride, and I are very proud of Mary. Not just because of who she is or that she made it this far, but also because of her good choice in a future husband. This is a special day because two people have vowed to stay true to each other until death. But what I find somewhat more miraculous is that fantasy and fiction have stepped aside for a moment to make way for real life and documentary. You see, these two people, we'll call them Mary and Michael, they role play, they roll die, they live in multiple fantasy worlds via cosplay, board games, books, theater, TV, online, fighting dragons, casting spells, flying spaceships, editing fan fiction, building and designing constructed environments of all kinds. These two people paused long enough to gaze into each other's eyes and say, hey, let's keep doing this together for the rest of our lives. And that's a wonderful thing. It's a gift to find someone with whom you would like to escape. And it was pretty clear that this day was coming because they made it through more than a year of pandemic shutdown, holed up in a one-bedroom apartment. They not only kept their jobs, more importantly, kept their relationship together. Mary is our only offspring, our only daughter. But if you're only going to have one daughter, you would be lucky to have a Mary. She's bright, and she's beautiful. She's also, wait for it, vocal. One might even say vociferous. However, in Michael, she has met her match. And today, her mate. And that's great. You know how society has made up combo names of famous couples like Brangelina and Bennifer? Well, I thought it was sweet how Mary and Michael used their initials on their registry site for Mr. MR and Ms. MS. And of course, you could go with M&M, like the party favors. But if you say their names together a few times, what do you get? Marry Michael. Miracle. 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 Am I right? So now please join me by raising your glass for a toast. Mary and Michael, you met and have married. You've vowed to be true until you are buried. Your upbringings, quite different, could have caused friction, but you both are adept at fusing fact with some fiction, science and mystery, faith and what's empirical. We pray for God's blessing on this new miracle.
And the mic is open.
Oh no, I get to walk over. All right. So, I could regale you with several of those stories about fiction and rolling dice and other parts. I think actually going to take a step back before that really even happened. I will never forget now one of those first times when we are in John's backyard and Michael is telling us about this girl he's just heard about and met and matched with. And he's got this coy little smile on. All right, that smile is like, all right, something's going on here. There's something here more than just, all right, he met somebody who can keep him busy with bivalves and more like that, right? And didn't think much of it. All right, moving on. A bit later, Michael says, hey, we'd like to bring somebody to join us at the table to play together. And so Mary joins. And at the same time, that same little smile pops on his face. And when he's inviting her, yep, that same smile. All right? And it feels like it's continuous at every step along the way. Every time that I see Michael talking about something involving Mary, that little smile pops up. So from the beginning until now and for the time to come, this is a much shorter one. Go ahead, raise our glasses, bring it up. Michael, may that smile never fade, and may you guys continue together. Here, here. All right, and who's next? Doesn't have to be.
Airplane fell. Someone hold me. It's like a double rainbow.
R.I.P. to Noah.